Hello there, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for your monthly forecast for the month of May. Just want to go over some things really quick so that you guys know what we're looking at. First of all, this is not a comprehensive look at the whole month. What I am looking at is one theme that you're working on at some point during the month. I'm actually technically looking at one particular life cycle, and we all have several different life cycles that we go through. And usually they will tend to overlap. So you could have a life cycle in love, in work, in family. A life cycle basically just sets us up to either learn something or experience something. And as we learn that lesson or experience that experience, then as we incorporate that into our lives more fully, we come to the end of the life cycle or the fulfillment of the life cycle, and we get ready to graduate on to the next life cycle. So that's what I'm looking at here is a life cycle. I'm looking at the setup, the lesson or the experience, and then the fulfillment of the life cycle as you incorporate that lesson or experience. So, like I said, this is not comprehensive. This is not going to be giving you a heads up of all the major things that are happening for the month, but it will highlight one of the major themes for you. Okay, so let's get on with your monthly reading. Hello there, Aquarius. Thank you for stopping by for your tarot video insights for the month of May. The first thing that I'm looking at does talk to me about your environment, and what I'm seeing here about your environment is that you are in a new situation with your environment. So this may be a completely new environment, or it may be that you're handling something about your environment completely differently, or you're changing something completely about your environment. An environment, just by the way, usually is home, but I've also seen it come up as work or school. It's generally a place where you have a lot of energy or effort invested. So when you have something new about your environment, if you're not actually in a new environment, this could be like if we're talking about home, maybe you've updated or replaced the kitchen cupboards, or maybe you're painting everything or you're getting in new furniture, but definitely something that is new, a new beginning having to do with the environment. Maybe you're putting a fire pit out in the backyard, and if it's work, kind of the same thing. It could be something cosmetic being changed in your work environment. It also could be with something new in your environment. If it's talking about work, this could be you starting a new company. This could be you at a place where management just changed over and you've got a whole new management team, or you have whole new coworkers around you. So just something new in your environment is basically the bottom line here. Subconscious leanings. I see that you guys really are not feeling like you're very secure, like your security is kind of moving backwards instead of forwards. And this is what you're working on subconsciously. I think subconsciously you're kind of trying to figure out how you can feel more secure. And for some people, this has to do with relationship. For other people, this is going to have to do with money and finances and material goods. Both of those areas can make people feel more or less secure. So this could be happening in either part of your life, Aquarius. And I do feel like for some of you it will be in the relationship area, and for others of you it will have more to do with work and finances and that type of thing. All right, so as far as communication style and learning style right now, I feel like you are learning new things when it comes to this life cycle, but I also feel like for the most part, you feel like you already have this. You've got this. There's not that much new that you need to know here. It's all pretty much old hat to you. That's kind of your attitude as far as learning style. Communication style, I feel like you have the attitude that whatever is going on in this life cycle, I feel like you have the attitude that you're the winner here. You're the one that's on top. And your communication style, if you're not careful about how you communicate, could really come off as you talking down to the people around you. So that's something that you may want to be aware of as you go through May, is kind of how you're speaking to the people around you. Are you showing them proper respect, or are you treating them like they are less, or that they know less than you? Let's see. The next thing that comes up talks to me about work, and what you need to know about me and work is work can be that way that you make a living, the traditional idea of work, but work can also be that inner work that we're due on our own character. And I've had it come up just as often for both types whenever I read. So work can be coming in either way for you whenever I interpret this. And for a few of you, it'll be actually applicable both ways, but typically it just comes in one way or the other. So work, what I see going on here is a great balancing act. Seems like there's a lot going on. You are doing really well at keeping all the plates spinning at the same time, keeping everything under control. Multitasking is the name of the game if we are talking about tangible work. You know, how you make a living type work. Then I see you doing a lot of multitasking, a lot of different types of things coming up, and you're handling them and handling them gracefully. As far as if this is inner work, then I would say that what you're working on inwardly is finding some balance, finding that peace that comes from knowing that you have a balanced life as far as not only financially, but also emotionally and psychologically, working on getting that balance really going well. The part of you that's being grown or expanded right now, and I know this is going to sound kind of, well, maybe it just sounds strange to me and you guys will understand it exactly. That's usually what happens. But what I have here for that part of your personality that's being grown or expanded is that part of your personality that's actually comfortable in a relationship that is moving forward and going to the next level. So I guess if some of you are kind of commitment phobes, then a relationship moving to the next level might normally make you really uncomfortable. I see you being very comfortable with this coming up in May. So that's a part where you are growing. If you're already pretty comfortable with something like that, then this could be the relationship going to another level and you getting comfortable, you know, in that new next level. Maybe you're moving in together, or maybe you're engaged or getting married. Now, this doesn't really necessarily have to be all about a romantic relationship either, but this can be about just really a happy home life in general, and also I would say mostly like happy home life, really. And that's the feeling that's coming through. And so this is just you getting really comfortable with having a happy home life. This may be because a lot of the work that you've done, the inner work that you've done to get you to this point, but it does seem like a happy home life is something that you are having to actually adjust to and grow into. So I'm happy for you that you're adjusting to it and growing into it. I'm almost scared to know why you have to grow into it. Let's move on. The next card does talk to me about that thing that you stand for, and it kind of ties in with that happy home life, that you know, being in a nice, well-going romantic relationship. This really talks about attraction and a deepening of the bond between you and somebody else. And I feel like there may be somebody in your world that doesn't feel like you and this other person are such a great pair. And they may be saying, "Are you out of your mind? What are you doing?" Or maybe they're not reacting that strongly. But I do feel like you are sort of defending yourself. You're sort of saying, you know what, it's working. What can I say? It's working. So that's what I see you defending, is that attraction, that deepening bond with that other person, whether it's romantically or whether it's a friendship or a family relationship even that's improving. So how other people see you. It's really interesting how other people see you, because it really conflicts with what has been coming up so far. I mean, you're doing great at work, you're multitasking, you're happy at home, you have some kind of attraction going where the bond is deepening. That's cool. You know, you're starting something new in your environment. The only thing really uncool here is like that your subconscious is dealing with, how can I be more secure, which says you're not 100% secure, but you have these people that are thinking that you are taking some kind of rash action. And I think this kind of goes back to, you know, what you stand for. I think whoever this is that is saying, you know, maybe this relationship is not such a hot idea, I think they're the ones that are really looking at this and going, you know what you're doing is just not even smart. You haven't thought this through, that type of thing. They are seeing that as a rash action. You know, just I do want to stress too, just because it comes up as a part of a spread of what other people are thinking, that's nice stuff to know. But honestly, we really don't want to change our life based on what other people think about how we're living. It took me a long time to figure that out, quite honestly. But really is you are the person who has to answer for what you're doing in your life. You're the person that has to explain it at the end of your life and has to look at it and say, okay, what did I handle things well or not? People who are telling you their thoughts and what they think, they're never going to have to answer for your life. They're only going to have to answer for their life. So since you're the one that has to answer for your life, you should be the one that gets to make the decisions, right? Just saying, just putting it out there. All right, so the next thing that I'm looking at is that lesson or experience that is part of this life cycle that basically this life cycle is set up so you can have this lesson or experience. And the experience is having that really awesome and amazing good idea, having that epiphany of a good idea come into you. And when these ideas come in, they're huge. They're huge in that puzzle pieces from all different parts of your life kind of start to fit together. You kind of start to just get it about something. And you just go, oh, that makes sense. And as you're thinking about it and going through your day later on, you're like, oh, yeah, if I apply that idea here too, that makes sense too. Oh my gosh, wow. This is really cool, fun, great ideas that just really, they come in from Sacred Spirit that help us understand our own lives and how we're operating in there. Okay, so as we get into the fulfillment of the life cycle, we've got some things going on. Woohoo! First of all, I do see you facing some of your fears. So this is, you know, some of those things that you're afraid of being thrown in your face, like they could happen, and you're just looking at these. And I think you're thinking, okay, well, what is the worst case scenario if this really does come to be? And then what would I do in the worst case scenario? What generally comes out of that is you realize that there are solutions, there are options, and so the thing that used to scare you so much, not so much anymore. So that's a cool thing that you're working through some of those fears. And the other thing that I'm seeing coming up that's interesting is I am seeing you digging into the metaphysical or ESP or the paranormal, something like that. Something that I call secrets of the universe because a lot of these things really influence the world that we live in, but we are never taught them in grade school. So to me, I just call them secrets of the universe. And I see you really digging into some kind of secret of the universe as you go through this after you have this epiphany aha moment. And as you're facing some of your fears, you're just kind of digging in. I do see you actually spending quite a bit of effort to not only face your fears and knock them down, but also with digging into this secret of the universe, whatever it is that has you attracted to it to find out more. I see you putting in a lot of energy and effort in really digging in and finding out, is this really for real? If it is, how can I use it in my life? How can I use it to improve my life? So pretty cool ending there. I like that. Actually, you guys really, I mean, this whole thing is actually pretty good. So lucky you guys. So Aquarius, that is the insights for this month. I hope that you all have a fantastic month. Thank you, every single one of you, for sharing, for liking, subscribing, commenting, stopping by, and hanging out. I do appreciate all of your support. Peace out.